When the Pope Emeritus is explaining that the message of Genesis is deeper than a simple account of creation, then he allows us to take the understanding that somehow God created the earth, sun, the stars, and the moon, the oceans, and the land, and we can assume, therefore, because that's what Genesis teaches, that there is no earth god, no sun god, no sky god, no ocean god, etc. There is only God. This teaching is the beginning of an evolution from paganism to monotheism in every sense of the term. It is a cultural, spiritual evolution. When the Hebrews rejected this teaching and instead returned to the ways of their pagan neighbors at times, we see in the Hebrew Scriptures, they reverted into such practices associated with their pagan neighbors, including child sacrifice. So the deeper understanding that there were no nature gods was not a trivial thing. In fact, idolatry, the practice of worshiping other gods, is the worst sin in the Hebrew Scriptures and the first proscribed in the Ten Commandments. All other sins come from the practice of this one sin in the Old Testament and the Hebrew Scriptures. So when we are looking at teachings of the Old Testament, we are looking at a culture that is being invited along a path of progress through divine wisdom. This becomes the focus of our understanding of faith. It leads us to progress through divine wisdom. If you read the Hebrew Scriptures, the Old Testament and or the New Testament, you will see that the focus of the life of faith is the growth in divine wisdom. This is wisdom that comes from outside our sphere of understanding. Many believe Catholicism is about morality, but it is primarily about growing in wisdom. It is this wisdom that is the basis for our morality. In fact, you can live Catholic morality and be an atheist. So the foundation of our faith is not morality, but in growing in wisdom. Our morality is the fruit of wisdom. We believe that Jesus is not just human and not just divine. He is fully human and fully divine. This means that we do not see Jesus as another Socrates. We see Jesus as the Son of God who, when he teaches us from a perspective that is greater than our own, regardless of who we may be. Let me put it this way. Let us assume that there are realities that exist that are greater than our ability to see them. When Jesus teaches, he teaches from a position of full understanding of our universe, including those elements that are beyond our understanding to comprehend them. If we remember in our first video, I brought up the possibility of realities beyond matter and energy, and the name I gave them was spirit. This is because this is what Jesus teaches in the Gospel of John, when he says that God is spirit and his worshipers must do so in spirit and in truth. It is those who are seeking the greater realities of the universe around us who will find God because they are seeking that which God is leading them to find, the ultimate truth of whom we really are. This is at the center of what it means to be Catholic.